all you need is more eyes and more ears.
Mm-hmm.
Like the mistakes, you're going to make mistakes. If you in any business and you feel like, oh, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to make a mistake, you shouldn't be in business because
Right.
you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah. Brianna, how you doing?
I'm good.
Welcome to Memphis, or back to Memphis, should I say?
Back home. I'm home.
Talk to us. Let us know where you stand. How's everything? I know there's a lot to catch up on. It's been a while since we kind of, went public with, the brand, the business, developing yourself, developing the business, adapting to the marketing world, because obviously these days it takes a lot of marketing to push a product because there's so much product out there, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know, tell us what differentiates you from everybody else that has a product or starting a product, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you advise and what do you recommend for people that's starting off? And tell us kind of where you stand, because I know the last time we spoke, you had it in two stores, which is two wholesalers. Now you're about 5 wholesalers later. You got 4 wholesalers in the States. You got 1 overseas. I think, where is it in? Belize. How's that going? How's she? Because I know she loved your product. I think she called you wanting to redo an order not too long ago, right?
Yes. So we
tell us how's everything going with that?
Yes. So we filled up in Belize in February 2023.
Okay.
She called us back the end of March 2023 and said, Brianna, your products are going crazy. Yes. So she ran out of freeze spray that first month.
Oh, wow.
And then by the end of the next month, she was like, I need more.
I noticed that. And I noticed the freeze spray, it pretty much took off like crazy as soon as it dropped, especially in Belize, right?
Yeah, it did.
But didn't you go out there? You went out there, right? You paid a visit. Did that have an impact with the reaction or the response of how people bought it there? Because, obviously it sold out there. It didn't sell in the States, sell out in the States yet, but it sold out there. So do you think there's a reason why people there responded quicker? Is it because there isn't much variety out there? What's the reason why you feel like it did phenomenally well there and over here still selling, but not selling out compared to over there? What do you think it is?
Honestly, going to Belize made me realize that there are not a lot of Black-owned product companies. Like a lot of Black people don't have their own products in Belize. So a lot of people, when they were coming in the store, I got a lot of compliments like, you young Black girl, they just kept saying that. And I'm like, oh, so I'm kind of put 2 and 2 together, but I could tell they like my energy, that Memphis, it's just something about that.
It's different about it, for sure.
Yeah, so that, I feel like the energy, me being present, me being there made a difference too. Because I could have did a virtual lunch, you know what I mean? But being there was different. And it was my birthday.
I can see it. Okay, that played a big impact for you to say, hey, you know what, let's go handle business and pleasure at the same time. But at the same time, it's nothing better than going to make a bag and doing it with your brand at the same time,
That's the birthday gift right there. Yeah,
that's it. It's true. And fast forward now, recently we had the wax stick go viral, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I know we recently, we're talking about it. We didn't even expect it to happen. We didn't even know how it happened. Do you know why? Because obviously, it's tricky with products. Like you'll have a product that's hot today and it's hot tomorrow, but the next week it just goes back to its normal, state of selling, right?
Yeah.
What do you feel like compared to, like, kind of similar to what happened to the freeze spray in the beginning of the year, right? It went, went viral, it was selling out, you couldn't keep up with it. But then a few months later down the line, the wax stick is doing the same thing. How does that transition happen? How do people just all of a sudden we went from selling 5 or 10 or 20 a week to selling out overnight? What do you think is behind that?
Honestly, B, if I can answer that 100%.
You'll do it for all the brands.
I mean, I'm just saying, but honest, what I feel is just consistency.
Okay.
And making it known, making the visual of the brand known. And I feel like people just constantly kept seeing it. And then we did a photo shoot. Remember the photo shoot I did last year?
Yes.
That kind of made people realize oh, she's serious.
Okay.
And I don't know. I think people just start trying it,
giving it a shot, putting it to use.
I don't know if maybe a video went viral on TikTok or something.
It could be. And I know that's because for us in the store, same thing, right? We had only a few beading companies that sold it. Then we had all the beading companies start asking for it, right? And the biggest thing that I wanted to understand was, got to be a reason behind it. It could be a viral video. It could be the right person used it at the right time and made a post on it. Could be that, right?
You just said something so powerful. The right time. I think it was time, B.
Okay.
Because the way we've been pushing it, the way we've been, you know what I'm saying? It's been in your store. It's been in different stores and social media. people seeing the same thing over and over again. It's like, okay, let me try it.
Let me get my hands on it.
Let me see.
Yeah, and you're selling it for a good price. You're very competitive to all the brands. So in my business, we sell, I want to say, over 40 different brands of wax stick. 40, maybe more. I might be off by a few. But I do know that one thing that I learned a lot about people that use it, once they find something that they like, they stick with it, and they don't care about the price. And you're very competitive compared to the bigger brands, right? Yeah. But also the size of your bottle, it's also larger than a lot of the bigger brands. So I feel like people are also invested in it because of they're getting their money's worth, right?
Yeah.
Rather than going paying 11 or 12 or 14 bucks for a bottle that might last you only, say, a month, your bottle can last probably a little bit longer, right? Yeah. And I think the biggest thing that I try to understand from the retail perspective, because I have a wholesale and I have a retail perspective in a lot of the brands. And one thing that I noticed about yours is a lot of people love to find out more about it and look into the person behind that brand. So that's what's happening these days. So yes, I have 40 brands, but a lot of them they come and go. So they might sell for a month or two, and then a whole 8 months go by and we probably barely made any sales. Yeah. With yours, with the consistency that yours been giving me, it shows a lot of healthiness in the product and in the brand. But where do you feel like, because this goes for the people that's doing the same thing as you, because a lot of people want to hear your opinion and your advice. If you're consistent with your product and it's selling, what more do you feel like you need to do to add to that? Do you just leave it alone and kind of let it excel itself? Or do you feel like there's more that need to be done or double down on that? Like, how do you feel about that? And this is speaking to the people that's in your shoes right now. Yeah,
I would definitely say double down. Because even if I'm $1 million up today, I still want to get another million. And it's not all about the money, but it's like, let me see what else. I'm never okay with being complacent or content. Like that's just my personality.
And I noticed that about you from the beginning of our relationship.
It's more. There's more. Yeah,
absolutely. Especially when there's more there because when there's more there for you to accept, then there's more for you to give back to the people that are probably listening to this and saying, okay, well, I'm where she is right now. Like, I'm consistent, but is 20 bottles of this enough a week, or should I shoot for 200 bottles of my wax stick a week, right? And so in some people's cases, and I speak out of experience, 20 bottles is good a week, right? They're like, hey, I'm happy with that, right? Because they're making good margins. Right. But when does it come to a point where it's like, hey, I want to get it into not just in consumers' hands, but into businesses' hands, like myself, right? People that own stores. How can I get it on the shelf? What do you recommend to those individuals? Like, okay, you have a product, it's selling to the community that you're in a small town in Alabama, Louisiana, wherever you live, but how do you get it outside of that? What do you recommend for those people?
So basically, you want to know, you asking me how they can get their products in the store.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot.
That's the sauce, right?
I can't just get it out. But
give us just a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Like, if I'm a guy that has my own braiding job and I'm in a small town in Mississippi and I'm big there, right? I'm big in my small town and I want to take it to 100 other cities and I want to expose it. Do you have any advice for me to be like, okay, well, either go fast, slow down, or along the way build relationships with that brand? Like, what type of advice do you have for me there? Because I know multiple things can work, right? Going 200 miles per hour can work, but it can also be not strong enough. The foundation might not be solid because you might be going so fast and not having quality control. Maybe you're selling so fast and you're not, maybe half of the batch is good, half of it is not. At the same time, putting it in the wrong people's hand where now they sell your product for cheaper than they're supposed to, because that happens these days. Like, we have that problem with a lot of big companies that I can't mention, but they have price control, right? Say, hey, we cannot sell this product cheaper than cheaper than $9.99, for example. Right. Why? So it doesn't hurt the brand. So for me, that thinks about all of this when I'm trying to grow my brand, is it safe to say, go outside my comfort zone and try to blow up my brand and worry about the problems as I go? Or should you say just, fix it after the mistake happens? Like, I know there's two different answers here and both can work. I want to be very specific, but I want to know your opinion, Brianna's opinion.
Honestly, if I can be 1,000% honest, all you need is more eyes and more ears. Like the mistakes, you're going to make mistakes. If you in any business and you feel like, oh, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to make a mistake, you shouldn't be in business because you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But I feel like, well, not even feel, I know for a fact, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Mm-hmm.
And your proximity, the people who you are around, the people who you are connected to.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy named Neo said, if you can't pick up your phone and have 3 people you can call, you know, that got what you need,
mm-hmm.
then you know it's something is missing. So it's like, get out there and network. You gotta be willing to look crazy sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And shake as many hands as possible.
Period. Yeah. Like, get out there, network, events. I see y'all just had an event here.
Yes.
Terrence Davidson was here.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
He came out all the way, flew out here all the way from Atlanta.
Right. And and like people who are not in the beauty industry, when they see stuff like that, any kind of industry, I would have been trying to be in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Any event that you have, you brought so many celebrities and high big name people, I will be in the room every single time.
Those are the resources you need. And then, like I said, one relationship builds another and another. And I'm quite sure, you know, there's a lot of relationships that, you know, you didn't expect to go far after that first handshake, but then you realize, wow, how important it was to be at that, you know, dinner at 9 p.m. when you really don't want to leave the house that night, but you did, and it made a difference.
Big deal.
So those are the things I want people to understand. You know, do not miss out on opportunities. Take advantage of them. You know, whenever you have an opportunity, you might not know it is one until basically you see the success behind that relationship or the time that you invested there. You might not see it till 6 months later. Like, wow, I invested 4 hours and $500 of my money to go to this class, and I didn't benefit nothing. But you never know 6 months later what might happen. But I think what you're saying is just go with it and know how to kink out the mistakes as you go, but don't be worried about making them. You know, learn to get uncomfortable is also something.
Stay
something you're strong on. Yeah.
You got to see when you get to a place where you are okay with being uncomfortable, you about to be successful.
That's true. Actually, that's very true.
You about to take off.
That's when I worked at my best. Like and a different part of me comes out, you know, and you know, it can be, people can call it business savvy, but it's more like determined and hyper focused on the agenda, you know, and that's very big with me and a lot of people that I work with. I tell them, like, I need to see the same passion that I have towards business and working. Same way I would want them to, you know, give me back, right? So if I see that they're giving the same energy, then that's somebody I'm going to hang around with and talk more and learn more from that person. That's why me and you connect so well, because we have the same drive, you know, we're focused. We don't let other things distract us. And that's something I recommend a lot of people to take from this is distractions are going to come. Mistakes are going to happen. Losses will be made. But at the same time is being okay with it. And like you said, like once you learn to be comfortable with that, it's so quick to bounce back. And that's something that's strong with me for sure. So thank you for that. That's really good advice, because I know that's real advice. That's real advice that a lot of people go through. But some people might want to hear it and some people might not want to hear it. And some people might know it, but they feel like, no, that's not me. That's everybody else, you know. But at the same time, it can happen with anybody at any given time. Yeah. So going to the wholesalers, because I know I get this every day. People come in every day and say, hey, how can I get it in your store? How can I get it in somebody in Houston or somebody in Dallas or wherever the case may be in stores? I know you already have it in quite a few. You got about 5 wholesalers, right? And I don't know if you want to mention this, but I know you got it in, I think, one more. Is it in, I'm not going to say where, but somewhere in Texas. Is it okay to mention that?
You already said it.
It's, you know, it's one more wholesale. And I think it's necessary to mention because it's so, and I know you've been very picky with who you want to sell to, because there's so many people that will call and say, hey, I want to put your product in my store. But, you know, and it's not just putting it anywhere, you know, because 1,000 people can pick up the phone right now and say, hey, I want to put my product in your store. Right. But at the same time, it's being very selective with knowing it's about timing. Because if I bring in a product in my store the wrong time and it doesn't sell, then I have a bad judgment on the product. And the product might not be bad, it might be good. But I know with you, it's always been strong about timing, right? Like, hey, there's 3-4 people that might have called you the same day, and you might have only said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna keep my relationship tight with those 3 people that reached out, because at least they reached out, so I respect them for that. Right. But you've been very picky with who you want to put it in their store. Is there a reason? Absolutely, because first of all, my name is on the products, Bri Monique collection, you know, and I stand by my name. And when you walk into certain beauty supply stores, when I walk into certain beauty supply stores, I have to feel that I belong there, you know, because I'm leaving myself in your store.
And wherever I go, you know what I mean? You know, I just bring something with me. But if I'm gonna leave it there, I want to know that the customers are having an experience, not just with my product, but with the environment that my products are in. So it matters.
That's major, and I say that strongly because I know a lot of times people say, "Oh, well, this person's calling me. This person emailed. This person filled that application for wholesale," and it's not just a quick yes. You know, it's a lot of it that goes in. So I know that was very important for me.
Oh yeah, and I'm okay with saying no. I'm just at that point where, you know, you can't give everybody a yes. I mean, it's cool when opportunities are coming at you and people want to work with you, but when you know your value, you stand on your morals, and it is what it is. You know, just gotta say no.
I got you. There's much respect to you on that. So, Brianna, with all that being said, tell me this. Tell me what does 2025 look like for the product, for the brand. There's so many other stuff that you're doing. So tell me what does 2025 look like for Bri Monique.
Well, Bri Monique is expanding to other locations. We already talked about that.
Yes.
But I am getting to the point where it's time to spread the knowledge because I've learned so much, I've grown so much, and it's like it's so much in me, and it's just time for me to share it, like for real. And that's why
that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So tell me, if I'm a person that wants to launch my brand, if I'm a person that wants to scale my brand, you know, and so many people out there are in this same situation.
Yeah.
What do you have for somebody like me? If I want to be a part of your experience, I want to learn from your experience. How can I get that? How can I retrieve that from you?
Just take the class.
What class? Tell me about the class.
So you and I are having a class.
Okay. I didn't want to say nothing. I was really waiting to...
I'm like,
if you were comfortable with saying it, I was going to mention it. I know I was throwing hints out, but tell me about it. This is major. I know we've been talking about it for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe dates are not set in stone, but tell me about the class.
Yeah, and I really feel like, B, I know this wasn't planned.
Yes.
But we need to talk about it because we've been planning it for so long. Yeah. And it's like saying it right here, right now in this interview is like...
major.
Making it what it is. So, yeah, we about to have a class.
I'm glad we got it out for sure. You know, I know, you know, like I said, dates and times are not set in stone. But what will people expect from this type of class? And will it be in person? Will it be virtual? Have you made that decision yet?
Yes. So we haven't made a decision. If we're gonna do it virtual or in person. Okay. But I'm leaning towards virtual because I do have a lot of followers that are from other states and overseas.
Countries, yeah.
YouTube as well. So, you know, just to give people... Then it's the holidays too, B. You know, people have to get flights, room. They got kids. Like, just considering that. So people who can just log in and get the information, you know, do it virtually, I think. What you think?
No, I think it's good. So basically for a person that has a 6-figure, 7-figure business, a potential 6-figure business that either exists or... doesn't exist, would this apply to both of those individuals?
Absolutely. Okay. This will go for the person who's starting, the person who have started already, and the person who feel like they're growing and they just need more information.
Got it.
Because at the end of the day, I'm still in a beginning stage, but being connected with you and learning so much, I have so much knowledge now, and just having you next to me, it's like, yo, it's a wealth of knowledge just between you and I.
Yeah, I agree.
So just this gap, like I can help them in the beginning to where I'm at, and then you got the whole company, so it's like, it's limitless.
It's good to get both inputs because if I can go back to 10 years ago and I can sit in front of a room with somebody that has my, 17 years of experience and your 20 plus years of experience in just doing this, whatever it is that you're doing, with whether it's owning a product, whether it's doing hair, whether it's teaching how to do certain things. And, we're not get to, there's so much other things that you do, but I'm pretty sure I would want to pay for it to be in that class,
Listen.
If I can, speed up my process and take 10 years into 1 year, why not?
Listen, because you pay what you weigh.
Yeah.
I mean, we in a place in the world where people don't mind paying, and I think a lot of people really catching on to that. Like, then we giving away valuable information, and people got to understand. We've been told a lie for so many years that knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is power.
For sure.
So we really giving people the tools and what to do and how to do it, and we got proof. Like, everybody know who Beauty and Company is.
Yeah.
The whole city of Memphis know what Beauty and Company is.
Yeah, and work, relationships, connections, consistency,
oh,
all that, you know, is very big. And it doesn't stop there, man.
Thanks.
We keep going, you know, no matter what, we try to stay, what do you call it? I guess, relevant, you know, for the city, and not only for the city, but for online, because we're big online too. And hopefully, you know, still connect with other people. That's the biggest thing. So I appreciate all the information, Brianna, for real. This is really good. I know a lot of information we didn't want to talk about too soon, but hey, you know, everything is necessary. If it got brought up, I think it's necessary for people to hear it. You know,
I think it's set in stone now.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we got to do it.
It's gonna be official. And I'm gonna leave it to you to determine all the, you know, details as far as date, time, and then all the information that's basically gonna be given on that day for sure.
Say less.
Yeah.
Princess treatment.
Yeah, let's do it.
But thank y'all for watching. Please stay tuned for the next videos, and don't forget, if you have not registered for class, I need you to don't walk. I need you to run. Okay? Yeah.
For sure. I like that.
For
Brianna,
sure.
thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. You know, I know it wasn't easy getting you here, but you're here.
For sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.